Well, hello everybody. I'll give it that minute to let people log on. I've taken the night off of work. I did not sleep today, not much at all. My morning consisted of going to a corporate drugstore where a pharmacy gave me my third booster, having to backtrack to that establishment after 8 days now just to get my records of third booster, which were completely messed up, registered, wrong date, wrong lot, wrong everything. It's been a nightmare. I didn't say a word online about it because I didn't want it to get any worse. And of course, when you're fighting with government, the last thing you need is to have to rely on the ministry to get the job done. It was a shit show, to say in the easiest of terms. It's disgusting where this country is going. To have your health records completely messed up, including the manufacturer's lot number, wrong date, just pumping out the jabs as fast as possible. I know better. At my age, I know better, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted that third Pfizer just to finish the protocol, just to do what Operation Warp Speed and the manufacturer Pfizer rolled out to be in the real stats. It's not about whether you like to be vaccinated or not. It's about me, my health, and for future generations to look back at this in real statistics. Vaccine mixing, not a good idea. I never subscribed to that. Like I said, I was there from Operation Warp Speed onward, up ground running. I'm not American. The Americans are 3 months ahead of my stats. But it's done in my age category, but at a massive tooth pulling. I mean, the last 8 days, pure hell, ladies and gentlemen. And to finish today, having to run literally all over Hamilton to the health office, back to the vaccine certificate center, back to the pharmacy where I got the shot done. Rinse and repeat. It's been the story of the whole week. A complete joke. To have my records entered incorrectly because they don't provide you any records, to try to pump out the jabs now as fast as they can. And of course, massive mistakes. I don't believe I'm the only one. I'm sure there are literally thousands and thousands. Do I feel it was targeted on me? I don't know. I don't think so, but could be. But it was a shit show, everybody. It was a complete shit show. From the second dose to what this is now is a shit show. Why? That's called centralized government. Never works. Never works. Leave it in the hands of the private sector. Don't go out there. These people who talk about, like NDP, talking about pharmaceuticals being free for everybody. Can you imagine, Canadians, the overwhelming tax burden? Some drugs are oversupplied. Some drugs will not be found whatsoever. Your ability to get accurate records will go down the toilet. This is just over a vaccine, but that is where we go in a centralized free pharma system. A complete joke, worse than our healthcare system. I can clearly see that, tell you all that, just where we're going in this country and why I need to get the hell out of here. It's gotten to that point. I mean, it's so pathetic. And to go on with today's news, and I'm tired, everybody, I'm tired, and I need to sleep, but it's just so overwhelming. Trudeau loans Ukraine $120 million. To put in perspective, ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you the top-ranked polling and government institutions based in the United States, just the United States, there's also UK through Oxford, the list goes on and on. All the top institutions I visited have all got economic organizations, legal groups who assess the whole world on corruption. Ukraine, the 9th most corrupt nation in the world. Zero human rights, folks. Zero human rights. When we talk about Nazi Germany, Nuremberg trials, and I know this is lost on a lot of Canadians. You don't know any better, and it's okay. And the way the narratives where people take things, I'm going to tell you how it really is. There are institutions in this world, real credible ones. Canada's not a part of that. They walked away many decades ago. You can thank both Conservatives and Liberals because they've done it together. They've been in this as a tag team partner. Canada's not on any of those levels. They've quit. They've removed themselves. They're gone. They administer their own. They very much like countries like Ukraine because they're corrupt too. Canada hides it very well. They're very sneaky at it, but they're busted nonetheless. World academia is waking up to that. Bloomberg wakes up to that. Bloomberg has all of it in its entirety. They're going through it. Trudeau doesn't like it at all. For all of you who say, oh, Bloomberg, they're really leftist, maybe in Labour, but let me tell you something, everybody. Trudeau handed over 120 million tax dollars without batting an eye. No parliament, no debate, no nothing. Against recommendations from world-ranked, credited institutions that you don't say, oh, I can't look at that as something I should use as data. These are world credited. When it's the United States of America, it's credible, it's verifiable, and it's done by the greatest minds in the world. Real graduates, doctorates, real economics, and they have measured every nation in the world. That's their business. When you look at America First, doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat, that's called good business, good governance. Know who you're getting into bed with. So when you have government officials going outside that, working with nations, again, everybody, you will not find a Ukrainian ranked expert, accredited academic expert to tell you that Ukraine has human rights, because they don't. Zero. Zero. When I say zero, it means you go to Ukraine, you can lose your life for speaking out against the Ukrainian government. That's a fact. There's all kinds of publications to prove that. There's a whole group I published of actual journalists who say, oh, over Russians speaking out on the Crimea Peninsula and all their stories, and they go through it, and you will find a tremendous amount more for those who try to speak out against the Ukrainian government. Ukraine, Russia, Georgia, we can go through all the other republics. They're all just like Russia because they're institutionalized in the Russian system. So when they break away from the Soviet Union, without the overlap of the Federation of Russia, that federal governing override, there are zero human rights when they leave. And if they don't implement them, they remain outside of any realm of any real human rights, which is also social, economic, and the rest of it. People don't understand this. You're going to hear it in my paper this Sunday. We're going to go through it in its entirety. Why Russia does what it has to do. Because it leaves a mess in this world. Africa, what happened with UK? It's a mess in this world. Why is that? It's because when they got their independence, there were zero human rights attached to it, no governing oversight. So you get rogue regimes, murderous, perverse, murderous regimes who have no embedded human rights whatsoever, and they go right off the scale. Mass murders, genocides, rapes, children's atrocities, you name it, it happens. No freedom of speech, no freedoms, none whatsoever, not really. This is Ukraine today. And anyone who says that isn't true, please bring forward an academic expert, accredited institution to tell you what I'm saying is not true. You can't find any, not credible. You can find a whole bunch of journalists who are not legal experts, who are not world-ranked economists, who don't look at finance, don't look at trade, don't look at world international law. They don't. They're journalists. They report stories. Sometimes that's fictitious, and sometimes it's propaganda because they're paid by local governments to write those stories. Just here in Canada, many journalists, if you write the correct stories, taxpayers through Justin Trudeau will pay you $10,000 for your story. If it's not the story the regime government wants, it doesn't see the light of day because the journalist reporting credible news won't get paid. How long can that journalist live and operate as a journalist on true stories if the government won't pay for the news story? See the problem here, ladies and gentlemen? That is the issue of Canada. That's what we are. We just issued Ukraine, who is ranked 9th most corrupt nation in the world. 193 nations, folks. That's a terrible stat. If you rank them on human rights, they're likely number 1. There's a whole bunch of African nations that might tie them, but Ukraine's right there. There are no human rights in Ukraine. Ask any Ukrainian doctorate expert in constitutional, international, or domestic law. Check it out. Check it out. You will find the real experts will tell you, oh no, Ukraine is a sick mess. They haven't gotten any better since 1992. Look at all the years not there. Which brings me into now Canada. Canada and our inflation. More on the filthy, insane Justin Trudeau. Canada, are you ready for this? And I can tell you, I'm going to disclose this. Senator Wyden, Democrat Senator Wyden. You will find I exchanged with Senator Wyden many, many times on the development of the USMCA. Wyden got appointed to the highest position in labor. All the labor portion of the USMCA is all Senator Wyden. He crafted it during the Trump administration. That's how UNSC went through. If you think Donald Trump isn't a master builder, a master businessman, in his time, he did work partisan. Check out Democrat Senator Wyden. I know because I've talked to the man. We've exchanged lots. I shared a lot as the nut job Chrystia Freeland and the maniac loser Justin Trudeau continued on with USMCA. We got to work through a lot of groups, a lot of institutions. I was privileged to be on that. It's something I was just ecstatic to be a part of. And we got labor reforms put in there, labor protections. It's why I know there is no executive order coming. Justin Trudeau has now deleted that with his state media, CBC, to keep a secret from all of you. Even though live, for many, many Canadians heard it live, Joe Biden was going to drop the hammer on American truckers on international transit cross-border Canada, USA under USMCA. So far, nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Crickets out there from the Biden, meaning Justin Trudeau lied. But now, CBC's gone back, cleaned up the video, added interpretation to the live, made a brand new video, cutting over 20 minutes off the video, deleting Bloomberg completely, which again brings me to this loan, the $120 million. Bloomberg talks about it. They talk about a whole bunch. Go check out the news on Trudeau and Bloomberg. Your inflation. What Justin Trudeau's done with mass immigration. Oh, I thought we're in a pandemic. 10-day isolation periods they want. The world's going into endemic, but not Canada. They mixed your vaccines. They wrecked the protocol data, destroyed it. Destroyed it this month. And then, wham, mass immigration from all over the Commonwealth. Mass immigration. Highest number immigration in the entire world. Bloomberg states today for you in real economics. Senator Wyden all over this stuff, me too, and I am proud to say it today to you all. And let me tell you what it means, Canadians. Your wages, growth, well below the United States of America. Well below, meaning we intersected a line. And we intersected where we're going down, America's wages going up. Wage gap shrinking in the United States of America. Wage gap increasing in Canada. Oh, guess what, everybody? In economics, this lowers inflation. If you get less for your work, but the cost of goods go up, don't worry, we've lowered inflation. It's a bad way to lower inflation. It's called the path to the second world, the path to even the third world. As your wages go down and the cost of prices of things rise, yes, lower wages lowers inflation. But if the inflationary markers of your products continue to skyrocket, you've been fucked. Fucked by Justin Trudeau. We are worse than the United States of America on wages, ladies and gentlemen. Your socialism under Justin Trudeau doesn't economically add up. The equation balanced for inflation doesn't add up. It's still going up. Your wages are going down. Does that sound a reasonable person? You don't need to be an economics major. Bloomberg shares this for all Canadians today, and they were pissed at one Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. You want to call them left media, you want to call them Democrat heavy, Labour heavy. Yes, it's true, Bloomberg is Labour friendly. I'm Labour friendly. I consider myself a physical conservative. I consider myself deeply embedded in capitalism and the belief that there needs to be protections in place. Don't let it become an oligarchy. It's just as bad as an extreme left or an extreme right. They meet each other right there. And that's reality. You can have that same regime through capitalism if not regulated. If you have no power of the people, if you don't honor things like the Declaration of Human Rights that came out of World War II. The most people in the world died for a cause for freedom. And it was based on labor, ladies and gentlemen. Unfair wages, not valuing the services you provide to get products out there to make the world better, not getting that capitalism shared to you. The idea of socialism for you, capitalism for this few. That's not a real, true capitalist society. It's not the United States of America. It's not the institution of the United States of America. And there are reset checks and balances that get there. Like immigration. And they're not going there, but Canada is explosively going there. Your wages continue to go down, Canadians. We crossed USA. We're going down. USA's going up. And yes, that increases inflation. But we're going through massive inflation regardless of destroying our wages. That's Trudeau's way of trying to minimize inflation. And the Bank of Canada is going like this. Do you all know what the Bank of Canada is? It's your bank. It's the public institution, the central bank of the taxpayer. Working Joe Jane, and they're saying, oh, it's really good that our value declines with the wages because when the wages are lower, the tax yield's lower. So what does that mean? It means Justin Trudeau is going to be raising taxes, lowering your wages, and inflation still going up with the driving forces of the products because we don't have the supply and value chains. Bloomberg all over this, real, credible, verifiable. And one Justin Trudeau, the filthy, lying autocrat, is erasing them off. Oh, no. CBC will report. We'll erase Bloomberg. Never mind the Democrat institutions from the United States of America. Let's just lie. Let's lie about Joe Biden. Let's lie. Hey, let's lend Ukraine $120 million, the ninth most corrupt nation in the world, because we're protecting their democracy. Scratch your head here. Ukraine's democratic? Why are so many people getting murdered there all the time? Why? Why are they ranked 9th most corrupt nation in the world by the best institutions of the United States of America, by the best institutions of the United Kingdom? But hey, that's the kind of alley. You know what? Is it really about getting one up on Russia? Is it really about Ukraine and its crap? Or is it more about a staging point to do an offensive against Russia? Stay tuned for my paper on Sunday. Trudeau's a liar, an autocrat, a diseased mind of an oligarchy, a divine autocracy of the crown. He is a shining spotlight on what's wrong with Canada, a pure autocracy. Share this video. Get it out there. Start learning what's real, what's not real. Because I can tell you, what's real is Canadians. Your wages are under extreme assault. You're being levered as an insurance for all those new immigrant loans. $1.5 million a pop. You think housing prices are going down? They're going way up. Way up with the massive immigration, the $1.5 million loans insured by all of you, and you're getting your wages driven down. You're lower than the United States, as per Bloomberg, as per Senator Wyden, as per UNSMCA. Total breaches, folks. Total breaches. The war against America's coming. America is going to be slapping Canada in the face. I don't believe in manufacturing at the cost of my wages and my value and my family's suffering. I enjoy international law. I enjoy the Declaration of Human Rights. I enjoy the idea of a real capitalist society that we should all be sharing out to the world, that the work, the goods I produce, the services I render should be a fair pay, should be brought back to me and my family. It's there in the Declaration of Human Rights, 1948. What all the soldiers in World War II on the Allied side fought and gave their lives for. Don't let the world crumble. Don't let Justin Trudeau, Nazi Germany-style Canada under Justin Trudeau, drive you into what led to World War II. That's what he's doing. That is the magical work of one Justin Trudeau, the most corrupt seen in a very long time, who has no qualms doing it. They have the power over the Bank of Canada. That was made and rendered by the Supreme Court through the Crown. You can thank the lawyer Galati for that. He did that. Everybody loves him, but he is a piece of shit. He gave the power to Harper, took away the independence of the Bank of Canada, and now the government of Canada uses it as they wish with every elected regime. Again, everybody, the Bank of Canada is the public taxpayers' institution. It is the bank of you and your worth. When it operates in this manner for a regime, you are absolutely and 100% screwed. This country's screwed. It's been screwed for some time. And Justin Trudeau is ramping up the throttle as fast and as loud as he can. He's grabbing all those in the lowest level, those who would embrace socialism. He's got his first class. And eventually, like all other countries, when you make somebody else pay for somebody else, eventually everybody quits. Everybody quits. And then you get a Venezuela. This is what's happening to Canada. And those regimes are all the same. They stuff their pockets with all the cash. They just cement themselves all over the world, and then they leave all of you bankrupt. They will end the First Peoples. Mark my words, this is their way of doing it. The collateral is the land, the collateral that is the First Peoples' land. Canadians have no access to it, not from the second and third class. I say it over and over because people need to know. We're in the worst state Canada's ever been in. And it's not going to get any better, not until people institute change. Find a party, elect the next party. I don't know how that's going to happen, as Justin Trudeau has full power over the media. All the premiers are in league with him. They want their crown too. Conservative, NDP, alike, Bloc. It doesn't matter, folks. They're all in it to win it. When I say that, that's the crown. That is the divine and all-encompassing power over all of you of the second and third class. Business and working Joe Janes. That's it. That's all there is. Just them. And their ability to exploit the living hell out of you. Check out Bloomberg. Check out the latest in immigration numbers. And your wages. That's real. Yes, largely from the Democrat side. But not under Biden. They don't have the power. As CNN takes her that. You won't find CNN writing these stories. This is the normalcy side of the Democrats. Check it out. Before you rage, check it out. Look where USA is right now, as per Bloomberg, and look where Canada is. You're being destroyed, Canadians. Your country's being destroyed. And it's from within. It's Justin Trudeau. It's Aaron O'Toole. It's Jagmeet Singh. It's all the political parties across the provinces and territories. They don't care about you. They care about filling their pockets. That's the truth. Bye now.